This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Our first carry now for Jordan Howard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
From the 50, it's Smith. And this one is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week. Excellent focus. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. On 3rd down, this is Howard. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward? You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride. Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right? You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see. Play action. Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it? No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Hey, on.
To throw on second down is Smith. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
On first down, they run with Howard. Gets past 1 man. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, it's Stafford. And this is incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Stafford now to throw. And complete right side to Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Back to throw. Stafford. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Stafford. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jordan Howard hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Smith. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly,
that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. He drops it off for Bernard. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he finds Cook. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Quick hitch, complete. It's Lee. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Throwing again is Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Lee. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 8. Again, it's Stafford. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cliff Averill in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
A give to Howard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending, always making sure no one's holding.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kevin Byard. Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
After the interception, here's Stafford. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back here right after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. On first down, Stafford here. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Stafford on first down. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Allen has it, left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Now Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And it's now 14-0. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick. He was looking to get it to LaFell there. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but yeah, let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw on second down is Stafford. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Randall Cobb, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Crosby on now to kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have recovered. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down, but they'll get it back.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. This is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 14 yards that time for number 14. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before, getting his feet down. What'd you say, dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Ready?
To the air again, Stafford. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Here's Stafford. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Approach to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. On first down at Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. On third down, that's Howard, and he'll get it down here to the 43. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend. So lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll get started out on the West Coast in Oakland. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. Marcus Mariota, a touchdown pass. From there, let's make the trek down to Southern California as we check on the Chargers at home in Carson. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Nick Foles throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Calvin Ridley, a touchdown reception.
Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now.
In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Smith, throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw is Smith, and he's got Rodgers. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Smith now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, it's Smith. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the all-pro linebacker. It's Von Miller. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Blue 60.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. This is caught with a catch right side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Darren Lee there to get him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Stafford on third down. And complete right side to Cook. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
23 yards on the play.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Over the middle, complete. That's Porter. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. On 1st and goal, Howard. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jordan Howard, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Crosby with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Crosby on now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is the offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Back to the air. Smith on 2nd down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They are going for it. It's Smith. And now here is another interception. It's Desmond Trufant. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions. That he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far. Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative. A first throw for the backup, Griffin. Walker with a grab, left side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, Griffin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in. Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he'll go down at the 28. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Griffin will throw again. The pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Fourth down. Here's RG3. And he locates Walker, complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. To throw is RG3. They'll roll him out right. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested. And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time. And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Griffin. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Hey, boys, we got four down. Ready.
On third down, Griffin. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long.
Set. 180.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Stafford now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Light. Set. 180.
Running with Howard. And an alley to run. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40.
Set.
Again, it's Howard. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They go with Howard again. And now running right through it. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. The quick slant caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Deshaun Hamilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd and 10, once again, Griffin. And this one's incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and it's 3rd down. Griffin. And now another one thrown incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here we go. It's Griffin on 4th down. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Maurice Alexander making the stop defensively. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes, and the Seahawks are running away with this one.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
4 down.
On 2nd down, Griffin. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now it's Griffin. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I we enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP?
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A give left side to Howard. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Set, blue 60.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Lee's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They run with Howard. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Howard. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the 1st half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Hey, tag 32, tag 32.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Set, 180.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Checking in on Houston. It's in the 4th quarter there. And the Texans, they have scored again and moved in front by a couple of touchdowns. Dak Prescott, nearly 300 passing yards to lead his crew. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Griffin. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A very solid gain at 27. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
There's Griffin to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. Down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking.